Hello, good afternoon, everyone. Yeah, my name is Joel. You can look me up in LinkedIn if you want to connect. Joel Tian, so country manager for XM Cyber. So today my topic is about bringing security and IT team together through vulnerability prioritization. Okay, so we'll do some sharing about how we do it. This is one of our use cases. So XM Cyber is designed for a medium to large enterprise with very complex network. Okay, so if you are finding that you have a lot of things on your plate, too many vulnerabilities, not sure which one to fix, okay, please have a chat with us. We have a booth downstairs as well. This is one of the award that we recently get from Frost & Sullivan. Okay, so let's move on to the topic today. So the big problem that we see across our customer base is attacker is getting very smart, right? Regardless of a small or big organization, you have a full suite of security stack. But attacker is always getting ahead of time. Day to day, we see people getting breached. Okay, it can be through social engineering, phishing. Attacker is finding ways to get into the organization, stay in stealth mode for months and years, waiting for the accident to happen, or it can be a misconfiguration. So the three key challenges that we see from the defender side is there are too many exposures that need to be fixed. Okay, it can be attack surface, it can be a CV, vulnerability, cloud issue, or maybe we have a show of hand. Who can say that they have fixed all the vulnerability in their organization, even the low and the medium one? Okay, so far we haven't got one that can tell us that they fix everything. Okay, and another problem that we see is technology actually don't talk to each other. It's very silo. You have an Active Directory security, you have a cloud security, you have a VM solution, and it actually don't connect. So if you don't know how the attacker think, and how they actually chain up all these different attacks, we actually give them time to react when we are busy fixing things that are not relevant or not important that will be breached. That means that if they don't use it, okay, even though it's critical scoring, CVSS 10, high severity, but if attacker don't use it, and you are still facing it, it actually is actually wasting the resources. Okay. So 74% of the exposure that we see is not on the attack path to the critical asset. So that means that if you find 100 issues, 74 of them is actually not impacting anything. That means that Joel computer can be breached, but it actually does not help the attacker to access the customer database. Okay, but if another computer, let's say the HR admin computer, after it getting breached, it can actually compromise the CEO computer, the impact is higher. So this leads to a problem of disconnection between the security team and the IT team. Day-to-day security team is finding so many issues, add more new solution, find new issue, pass to the IT team, and then the IT team is struggling to catch up with all this fixing, patching, remediation. Just last week, we are talking to a relatively large telco, telecommunication company, about 10,000 endpoints. So he said that within a week, they have 2 CVSS 9.8 vulnerability scans. So the CISO passed to the IT manager, and the IT manager asked the question, which one should I fix first? I only got 2 people, right? I got so many servers, so many CVEs, so many patches that I need to do. So it's actually a constant struggle, not just to the IT team, it can be to the server team, it can be to the cloud team as well. Okay, so without a clear context, it's actually very hard to communicate between the different teams. So we need a smarter approach. So what XM Cyber is doing is we assume breach. We assume the attacker is already inside your organization. Okay, we assume that they are there in stealth mode, not detected by any of your security solution. And then we will assess how they can navigate around your environment. Okay, be it from a corporate network to a data center to your AWS cloud, and then into your Crown Jewel server itself. Step by step, we will assess and tell you how the attacker can attack you. Okay? And on top of that, we will tell you where is the choke point. Because with attack graph, not an attack path only, but with a graph, you can actually see that where is the main point that most of the attack can go through and eventually reach the Crown Jewel or the business critical asset. So if you cannot breach the critical asset, probably it's not so important. Although it's critical severity, but it's only compromise on one machine compared to a low severity vulnerability, but it can actually compromise your critical asset. Okay, so the impact is different. So XM Cyber brings to you the impact of what the findings are and where you need to prioritize. Okay, we also provide the remediation documents and guidance on how to fix it. So So on the platform, this is an example on how it looks like. Okay, so we assume that the first machine is being breached in a 172 network. Okay, and then we see that whether is it reachable over the network to another VLAN itself, and then what can be compromised. It can be using a CVE, it can be using an AD techniques, and then moving to a human management interface in the OT zone. Okay, so because we are running in a SaaS model, there's no hardware, we can actually look across all your environment. It can be cloud, it can be multiple offices, multiple branch or global or regional. And then we will show the team step by step how we determine the attack path itself. Okay, after we determine it, we will show you the description on what did we do. Okay, what is the attack techniques about? What are the conditions that we validate? It's not so clear here, but basically we are doing a few things. We validate the network connectivity. We check whether the proof of concept for the certain technique is available. Like for this, whether the spooler service is up and running, whether the remote printing process is disabled, whether is it on the right patch version to actually execute this attack itself. So we're not just doing assessment, we also do validation at the same time. And it's all mapped to MITRE TTP framework. If you are into TTP engineering and detection, you can use our report on that. And then we teach the team how to remediate. Okay, we will provide multiple remediation options. It can be patching, it can be disabling the spooler step-by-step guide as well on how to fix the issue and which entity you need to prioritize and fix first. Okay, if you cannot use the first remediation guide, you can actually use the alternative one. So usually we have two for the same technique itself. This is another example because we look across hybrid cloud environment. So on the left-hand side are the on-prem network. On the right-hand side is the Azure cloud, Microsoft Azure cloud. So we see that attack started from a Windows computer here. We found a domain credential that can breach into another computer in the enterprise. And then with a token stealer for the Azure, we actually pivot into the cloud environment. Okay, so this is how attacker will move from on-prem to cloud. We compromise the Intune, and then it move back to compromise the on-prem Active Directory servers. Okay, so if you just look at cloud or you just look at on-prem, you will not see how the attacker can navigate between your different environment. Okay, so this is a unique use case for XM Cyber. And based on our research across all our customer base, only 2% of the exposures are on the choke point. That means that imagine you have so many issues, we tell you that you just need to fix 2 machines. Focus and remediate today. What are the choke points that you need to do? Okay, and then you can quickly reduce the cyber risk in the organization. Instead of you need to patch 1,000 machines, we can actually exactly tell you which one you need to prioritize first based on the business impact. And after that, you will have a scoring and trending as well. A lot of people ask about that at the booth just now. Okay, we actually give a risk scoring across the unified environment. You can monitor the trend across your different scenario. This is actually a real customer, about 30,000 employee. It goes from F, 34, which is not so good, 0 is the worst, to 100 in about 4 months. Not every customer can achieve this, but this is the end goal that we want to help organization to achieve. And within a day, we actually help them to reduce cyber risk from 89% to 2%. Okay, based on 4 choke points that we found in the organization. Is 1 internet-facing server that is actually open up with vulnerabilities. 2 cache credentials we found in the environment that can actually breach the Active Directory. And one of the system, the EDR is not running, although it's installed. Okay, so we actually capture these kind of things that help to assess the environment and make it a business critical impact. So vulnerability prioritization is one of our use cases. This is the last slide. Okay, so we have a booth just down the escalator on S03. If you want to know more and have a chat with us, we are just downstairs, or you can actually add us on LinkedIn. Sorry about that. Not so feeling well today. Thank you, everyone. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Joel Tian. What can I say? Instead of drowning in sea of vulnerabilities, prioritization allows security and IT teams to, number 1, focus on what matters most, collaborate effectively, optimize secure allocation, and reduce remediation time. There you go. And if you're looking for a smarter approach, we have Mr. Joel Tian here. XM Cyber is here for a smarter approach. There you go. By working together, security and IT teams can achieve more secure and resilient organization.